as we had the pack come back together here in the second heat of the men's 4x1500.
Just got the news that outstanding try vaulter O'Connell is just entering the vault competition now. Their bar is set at 4.86. I would estimate there's about 30 minutes of track events left for today. I wonder if this men's pole vault is going to continue off into the evening.
Yeah, pole vault kind of pretty well known for its...
moving at its own pace?
Yeah, precisely. I think both the event and the athletes are known for moving at their own pace. Obviously, it is a rather, as I mentioned before, precise event that you got to put a lot of preparation into, so understandably, they got to take a lot of time, but still, does have a bit of a reputation for tending to be one of the last
Derek,
events
let's go,
to
buddy.
finish up, even if it is one of the first to start.
Do they take advantage of all the time they're allowed? Is that what you're
I do, but
suggesting?
I would venture to say yes, as it's still Detroit in the lead of our second heat of the men's 4x1500.
Is that Bucknell behind him? Go, Derek.
It's a miss by the Bucknell vaulter. Again, 4.86.
He's been in this competition for a while. He started off back when they were at 4.35 meters, and he's still around a full half a meter plus later, which is no small difference in height in pole vault. In that last section of the men's 4x1500, William & Mary got under the 16-minute mark, finished in 15:56.
Come on, Derek, open it up. No. Pole vault.
Care about the pole vaulting?
Failed attempt there. Bar still at 4.86. We'll return to your men's 4x1500 meters. Still Detroit, followed by Bucknell.
Clock's at about 10:30 right now. They're running at 10:30.
Iona's
Come on,
supposed to be
Derek.
their C team is hanging out in third, so showing you the depth that program has. Despite the disparaging comments I may have levied their way earlier,
You've toned it down a little.
just a little. If they win this, then they'll be back in my good graces. How about that?
All right.
Who's the last one?
Well, that'll be an exciting reason to stay into the finish.
Austin.
As there you do see our William and Mary representative in the pole vault.
Yeah, I believe that you're seeing him warm up at this point. They removed the bar at 4.86.
So it's Bucknell getting overtaken by Iona here.
He's fighting
Now
it.
Detroit will fly by him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will.
Oh no.
Oh no. Go get him, Derek.
It's going to be Bucknell
Jeez, where'd
handing
that guy
off
get
in
all
the
his
lead into
energy
the
all of a
final
sudden?
leg. Handoff at about 12:06. Iona and Detroit. 1, 2, 3.
Here's O'Connell's first attempt at 4.86 in the men's collegiate pole vault.
Well, I believe he may be warming up just a little more because the bar's not up there yet.
He's not doing
I thought,
anything. Go back to the race.
O'Connell, he's a first-team All-American. He was 7th in the NCAA
William
indoors.
and Mary
He jumped
broadcast. He's
5.42
Yeah,
meters. That's
whatever.
17.9 at that event.
Yeah, so he's literally just warming up here.
Right.
But also,
wow.
Oh, he's warming up.
These
Warming
first couple
up?
clearances will also just be an extended
God.
warm up for him, I would
Not even
imagine.
a pole there.
And you can see why this event takes as
Yeah.
long as it does. He's
Okay,
not
back
even
to the running, the
approaching,
real event going
his
on.
max height yet.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I wish I could tell everybody if there's even any other competitors left in the field. There looks like there's a few guys that are still.
Go, Austin.
Hanging around. This could just be an opportunity for O'Connell to sort of get a little test,
Oh, or is that
early
Ryan?
season test
Is it-
in,
is
little
it?
reference point.
It is Ryan.
him
I
to
think
see
it's
where
Ryan.
he
That's
stands.
Ryan.
Always good to get competitions under your belt, even if you're only competing against yourself. Especially in the early going.
Yep. That's Ryan.
But back to our action on the track. It's Bucknell, Iona, and Detroit. 1, 2, 3. There is a second contingent of runners
Yeah,
back
dust
behind
those
them,
guys.
including Columbia,
Looks good.
who's moved up. And that front pack taking things pretty
He's running a
leisurely
good
right
race.
now. They're giving some other runners an opportunity to get back into the race.
Probably not their intent.
That's sometimes what happens, though, when you open up with what you think is a big lead, and you feel like you can step off the gas a bit and relax. The next thing you know, you're running next to 10 other people. Sometimes you get some strange events happening in relays like this, where just collectively the field decides to hit the brakes. I remember watching one event that was being held somewhere in the Midwest when there were pretty violent winds, and the field was running at about 6-minute mile pace for a while, which for them is quite literally what they warm up at. And then they just finished off with a full-out sprint in the final 200 meters. Bucknell falling off the
Right.
pace a little bit here as Columbia tries to
You can take
join
this
that
guy.
front group. Iona has injected a
He's just
little
waiting.
bit of energy into this race now. The pace picking back up in the front. Detroit still hanging tough though. To see now they're really running through the sun, and that certainly feels good for us over here as we hit the bell lap. at
Okay, come on,
12.
Hofstas.
Those of us who are in the sun.
Fair enough. Lucky enough.
Get him, Ryan.
It's still Iona leading Detroit. They're going to try and make it a sweep of both heats in the men's 4x1500. But Detroit's not going to make it easy.
Are you kidding
Still
me?
right there on them.
Almost the end of the race and they do this?
Idiot cameraman. Alright, here's the end.